Alright broski, let's start off this video with some honesty real quick. Can you say that you've got a positive role model in your life? I want you to really think about what a positive role model means to you, and I want you to answer truthfully. Would you say you have someone in your life who would you consider a positive role model? Now, if you're part of the majority of people who are watching this video, the answer is probably a big fat no. And if you're part of the majority of that majority, you might even go as far to say that you have a negative role model. Now, I remember the day when I realized I was essentially projecting my father's behavior onto me, onto my younger brother. I was essentially a mini version of my father. And I can say that without a doubt that it was the most important realization of my life thus far. And I'm really proud to say that ever since that realization in March 2022, that my relationship with my younger brother, it is the strongest it's ever been. You know, I'm not trying to toot my horn, but family, friends of my parents and uncles and aunties and all that, they literally ask my parents, how did you get your boys to be so close? Our kids can barely talk to each other. I'm so proud to say that my younger brother sees me as a person he can confide to, and he sees me as someone who can offer him advice about topics he's too scared or embarrassed to ask his parents or his friends about. Now, I got to this stage after seeing this post on Instagram simply titled "Become the person you needed when you were younger." And ever since I saw that post, I fell down this rabbit hole, and 2 years later, I'm standing here making this video for you, broski. Because by the end of this video, I would have given you a roadmap you can follow, and through following that roadmap and implementation of all the steps, you will have set yourself up on a positive trajectory so you can truly become the person you needed when you were younger. Because even if you don't plan on having kids, or even if you don't have a younger sibling, there will definitely, without a doubt, be a time in your life when someone is going to call upon you and depend on you for advice and for help, and it is your responsibility to rise to the occasion, because there is no worse feeling than not being able to rise to that occasion. So we're going to make sure that never happens to you, broski. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, broski, it's time for your first actionable step. Now, before I tell you what it is, I want you to make me a promise. I want you to promise me that you're going to do this step no matter what. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to ask you to do anything like RKO your mum or to ask out your crush. But I want you to promise me you're going to do what I'm going to tell you in the next 5 minutes. Because if you're not planning to, then I want you to click off this video because you're just wasting your own time. Alright. So you're still watching, so that means you're gonna do this step. So let's get into it. What I want you to do, bro, is I want you to find a room, preferably a quiet room. Now I want you to sit down on the floor of that room. Now I want you to cross your legs. Now after you've crossed your legs, I want you to close your eyes. And now that you've closed your eyes, I want you to take a couple deep breaths while you're at it. You know, like some... I want you to do that a couple times. I don't care if you set a timer. If you want to set a timer, set a 5-minute timer, but just take a couple deep breaths. Now, soon enough, after you take enough of those deep breaths, some negative thoughts are going to form. That's brilliant. That's what we want. I want these negative thoughts to form. I hope you get a thought that causes you anger or embarrassment or anxiety. Do you know why? Because soon enough, you're going to realize that those thoughts are just going to pass by. Like lily pads on a lazy river. Shout out to my imagery today. That was on point. I just came up with that. They're just going to pass you by, bro. Like lily pads on a lazy river. That time I asked out that girl and she said no in front of the whole school. Passes you by. The time your father said you're never going to go pro because you're not good enough at baseball. Just going to pass you by. The time my younger cousin broke my laptop, just gonna pass you by. And you're just gonna realize, broski, that all the negative thoughts that come across your head are temporary. They do not define you. It is the way you act upon them that defines you. Because soon enough, bro, there is gonna be a time when a real life event is gonna cause you to have those thoughts and form those thoughts in real time. Like your younger brother might just clothesline your laptop and break that new monitor you spent 200 quid on. That is completely okay. That is completely okay. Well, it's not okay, but your reaction to it is going to be okay because you're going to let that thought of anger, when you want to go berserk goblin mode on your brother, you're just going to let that thought pass you by, bro. You're going to let the lazy river carry that lily pad all the way past your senses. That thought is just a lily pad on a lazy river, and you're going to let it flow. You're just going to let it flow. And you know what you're going to do as you let it flow? You're going to show your younger brother or your kid or that person who looks up to you. You're going to show them what a person of virtue looks like, and you're going to directly affect the way they respond to such a situation when they get older. Isn't that a beautiful thing? You're literally going to be an influencer. You're going to be influencing someone's behavior in a positive way because they're going to come across a situation like that when they get older. And they're going to remember the time when they really screwed you over, when they broke your laptop screen, and they're going to remember how you did not shout at them, you did not scream at them, you were just calm, and you forgave them. It is that simple. I conned you into watching this video. I made you think that I'm going to give you like a 10-step roadmap with some diagrams, with some worksheets, with like 20 actionable steps, and it was going to be a be-all end-all guide. Bro, it is that simple. To become the person you wanted, the person you needed when you were younger, you just need to be able to control your emotions. And the way to control your emotions is through meditation, broski. So I want you to do that. I want you to set that 5-minute timer every day for the rest of your life. And you made me a promise before I told you this actionable step. So don't you dare go back on it. Okay? Don't you dare go back on it right now. You made me a promise, broski. You're going to set that 5-minute timer and you're going to take those deep breaths every day for the rest of your life, because it is up to you, bro, to be the person you needed when you were younger. There is nothing else I need to say. Go and conquer the world, broski.